Welcome back to Crochet with Mary in Vamos whilst living with Parkinson's, and today I've got something really nice to show you, and these are some Christmas cutlery holders that I've designed. I designed these because I couldn't really find anything that matched what I wanted, and it is really easy to make, and I think they look so effective. And you don't just have to make them in Christmas colours, you can make them in whatever colour you want to match your table. Also, they're actually nice little pouches for putting little gifts in if you wanted to, so really versatile. And I think they look really nice. So let's begin, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So I'll just move those away, and what we're going to do is actually use two colours of yarn at the same time. So I'm using a double knit green cotton and a red cotton, and I'm going to use those together. You will also need a pair of scissors. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, and mine is a clover hook. And you will also need to make your little bow a length of contrasting yarn, two lengths of around 140 centimetres each to make the bow. But first I'm going to begin by showing you how to make our pouch. So we start with a slip knot, and again you can do your slip knot however you think is the best way. I'm going to chain 21, 2, 3. Just be careful that you're picking up both of the colours of yarn at the same time, and I've already started to get myself in a knot, so you need to keep your balls separately. So I've done, let me just check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I've now got 21 chain, and what I'm going to do is to go into the second chain from the hook, and I have got myself a little messed up with the yarn, but I will sort that out. So we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet all the way along, and we should have 20 double crochets when we get to the end. That's 4, that's 5, and just to check with you that a double crochet is through the chain and then around the hook, pull it through and pull it through twice. Through the two on the hook, sorry. So I'm going to leave you there and I'm going to meet you at the end when you've done your 20 double crochets. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Here I am at the end of my foundation row, and the foundation row is the first row that we do to set out our pattern. I'm going to now turn my work, so turn it around, and I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to triple crochet now in the next double that we did, and all the way across. I think you'll agree that by using 2 different strands of yarn, it does give you a nice mottled pattern. And because my table decoration for Christmas is going to be red and green themed, I think it's nice that it's a mix. And I'm just going to pull that back because I only picked up the red then. So it's, you do have to make sure that you've got both your yarn that you're picking up. So I'm going to go all along, and I'll come back to you at the end when you've got 20 triple crochets, including your chain 3 at the end of the row. Be back in a moment. I've finished my first row of triples and I've turned my work, and I'm going to just do exactly what I did on the last row, which is chain 3. I'll just go through that triple again with you, just so that you're sure. So it's wrap your yarn round, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn round, pull through 2, pull through 2. And I'm just going to quickly work to the end because I just want to show you that there's just something a little bit different at the end of this row. I could sing while I'm doing this, but I don't think you'd probably like it. So it's very quiet. I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm putting on and that they're easy for you to follow. And I'm coming nearly to the end of my second row of triples. And if you remember, we started our first triple row with a chain 3. So in our last stitch, we're going to be going into the top of that chain 3, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And that's so that it gives us a nice straight edge. And it works up really quickly using a double thread of yarn, which is nice. So here I am. I've been across, and now this is where I did my 3 chain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a triple into the top of that 3 chain. And I'll just show you now. I've done 2 rows. That's looking quite nice. So what we need is to do 10 rows of triples. So I'm going to leave you now to do another 8 rows of triples, remembering to turn your work, chain 3, triple across to your end, triple, and do your last triple in the top of that chain 3 that you started with. So do another 8 rows, and then I'll meet you here and we'll join our cutlery holder together. Here we are. I've now finished my 10th row, and I'm just going to leave my hook in there for a moment because I've threaded my starting yarn, and I'm just going to sew those ends in before I begin to join our work together. So just sew it in 2 or 3 times, and then just snip the yarn. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double crochet my cutlery holder together. Now, if you'd rather, you can sew it together. It's whatever's easiest for you, but I'm going to double crochet mine together. So what I'm going to do is to go into both of the loops. It's a bit difficult to get started, so go through the same loops to pick up both edges and do a double crochet. Pick up the next 2, and I'm going through both sides, so it can be a bit difficult to pick them up. And I'm just going to carry on and go around. And I find this is easier than sewing, really, but it's up to you how you do it. You could slip stitch it around, but I'm just doing a double crochet because it's quite thick and keeping my edges together all the time. I hope you can see this okay. And when I get to my corner, I'm just going to carry on and go around the corner. Just find my stitch. And again, just pick up both edges together. As I say, sometimes it is difficult to get your hook through both lots of yarn, but it is quite an easy way to join rather than sewing it round. So I've been all the way around, just going to check that that looks okay. There. I'm going to go into my last stitch here in that corner, and then I'm going to cut my yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, fasten it off, I'm then going to sew those ends in. Got the red one. I find it sometimes difficult to thread needles. Sometimes if I'm a bit shaky, but these are quite big eyes, so that's not too bad. So I'm going to just go backwards and forwards along this row a few times, just to sew it in. And then I'm going to cut the yarn, and then going to turn my cutlery holder the right way around. You can see just that edge. You can see all we've got to do now is put our bow in. So as I said before when we started, I've got about 140 centimetres of yarn, and I'm going to make my loop, and I'm going to chain 55, quite not too tight. So if you want to come back to me when you've chained 55, and then we'll finish it off. I've now finished my 55 chains, and I'm just going to show you what I do, which is put just a couple of knots in the end so that the ends don't come loose. I've done it already with the other end, and then I just snip my yarn like so. So that's nice and firm. I've threaded my chain through my needle, and now what I'm going to do is on the third row I'm going to find the just off centre of the first row. I'm going to put my chain through, then I'm going to miss a couple of triples and put it through again, making sure that I'm doing it in the same row, and I'm going to go around and just thread my length of chain through like so. And it's just in and out. Just pull that bit further. I do tend to talk to myself when I'm doing these videos, and I seem to have gone wrong somewhere. Let me just take that end off. I seem to have got it caught up somewhere. Let me just try sort it out. I don't know how I've managed that, but I have. So this just proves, you see, that no matter how experienced you can be, you can still make mistakes, and that's why I like to leave mistakes in my videos, so that it just proves to you that we can all make them. And I'm now getting very near the middle, so I'm going to through quite close. And what I'm aiming to do is to actually bring my last stitch up next to the one I started in. I'm then going to just pull it so that I get the same length. Just pull it round. Just pull it round a little bit so that I've got the same length of yarn at both sides. I can do that. I'm probably making this look harder than it is, but there we are. So now I've got the same length at both ends, just tie it in a little bow. Make that look nice and neat. And there we have it. That's your cutlery holder finished. And I'm now got my set of 4, which is how many I need for my Christmas table. So I'm really happy now that I've got my 4 finished, and I hope you're happy with yours too. So I'll see you back soon with my next project. Bye for now.